Welcome to Fran Ops, powered by Business Alliance Incorporated. This is the podcast where entrepreneurs and business owners come to explore the world of franchising with clarity and confidence. Hosted by franchise consultant Jared Nassif, we're here to help you discover the right franchise opportunities, avoid common pitfalls, and build a business you're proud of.
Hey, welcome everybody back to Fran Ops Live, where our mission is to help elite entrepreneurs and empire builders franchise their future with confidence and clarity. Every time we go live here, we bring you behind the scenes look on some of the brightest minds in franchising, right? From founders, developers, owners, industry leaders who are shaping the future of business ownership, especially through the modality of franchising. And today's topic is one that I think I have a lot. I have this conversation a lot with individuals, and a lot of individuals come in looking for franchising, and they ask something about, or their why, their motivation, their purpose often has something to do or something adjacent to the idea of freedom. This concept that we're all say that we are chasing, but there's often a variance between what someone thinks that is and what it actually looks like. And so we're going to talk about that today. What is time freedom? What is financial freedom? What does that really even mean? And if that is the case, what do you have to pay to get there? And not just in finances, but what are you giving up to receive that freedom too? And so that's really the conversation for today. And I'm joined today by Vishal, the co-founder of Wize Computing Academy, one of the fastest growing STEM education brands in the world. They have over 40 locations globally, both in the States and in Canada. And their mission is to empower the next generation through technology and entrepreneurship. Now, here's why this conversation really matters, because many people look into franchising because they want to experience either release or control, and they think that kind of includes or is defined by the word freedom. But we're going to unpack what that looks like: time, money, flexibility. Is it possible for franchisees to get both, or is it one gives way to the other, or what does that really look like? And we're going to do all that through the lens of Wize and what they're doing, how they're supporting franchisees, and what their franchisees are experiencing. And so we're going to break that down today with someone who's been there, both on the franchisor and the franchisee side. And I think you're going to really walk away with a clearer, more grounded view of what it actually takes to build a life of both financial success and personal freedom. So as we go today, make sure you're dropping your questions and comments down below in the comments, and we will get those to Vishal, and we'll unpack those together collectively here. It's the beauty of doing this live. So without further ado, let's dive in. This is Fran Ops Live. Hey, Vishal, welcome to the greatest group in the metaverse, my friend. I'm excited you're here. Glad you're joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Jared. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and this is a really important conversation, and I think I'm excited to have you on to talk through it from your own experience in franchising and share some insights and stories of what your franchisees are experiencing, because each one of them too, right? And I think you're over 40 locations, right? And each one of them were at some place where people watching right now, that's where they were. They're curious, they're questioning, they're wondering what their next move is in business, and is this the right step? Is it not? And is this business going to provide what they would call freedom? And that means different things to different people, and so it matters. But before we really break that down, I want to hear some of your story. So if you could, those who don't know it, can you share, how did Wize Computing Academy get started, and really what kind of inspired you to launch it?
Excellent. Yeah, certainly. First of all, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Love to tell you about who we are, what we do. I'm calling in from Dallas, Texas. This is where our headquarters are. We are a home-based concept. So this is my study, including us, the franchisor. All our franchises work from home. It's a mobile home-based concept. And what we do is we teach STEM or STEAM enrichment education to kids. We start at a super young age of 4, so preschool to 18, so high school. So it's a preschool to high school program. And the way we are set up, Jared, is think of us as what Airbnb is to hotels. So we don't have a brick and mortar store.
Mhm.
What we do is we go to where our students are as opposed to bringing the students to us.
Sure.
And what that does is that allows us to focus on what our core mission is, which is to provide high quality enrichment education in the field of technology, entrepreneurship, and such.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about owning a storefront, worry about leaves and paying monthly rents, things like that. And also, when we collaborate with different institutions like schools, preschools, and community centers, we really get access to a lot of students at one time, as opposed to one student coming to us at any given time. So that's how we started. We started here in Dallas, and we started with our own kids. We have two girls and a boy, and our oldest at the time was 6. So
Yeah.
she and her friends were our guinea pigs, and that's what got us started. My background, my wife Venus and I, we are co-founders. We both come from a computer science technology background. We are both engineers and MBAs. Both come from a tech industry, worked a long time in enterprise software as a service, e-commerce, all those things. But we always wanted to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And what we saw our daughter was doing and what we really wanted her to learn in a fun way, that was missing. And we thought, this is our opportunity. We can do this really well. And we started super small with her and her friends.
Sure.
Saw if this is something they would love. For us, the mission was low threshold and high ceiling. So what that means, let me step back. I'm also a computer science major myself. And when I learned all these skills, the barrier to entry is slightly higher. It's not easy to learn. And
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
exactly. And what we really wanted to do was to make it super easy, to make it super fun, not just go closer to students where they are physically, but also mentally. We know that students love to play video games. We know that they love to tinker around with Legos, and we know that they love to work with technology. But what they were doing was they were consuming it, they were playing it. So we said, let's use the exact same platforms that they're using, playing on, change it so where we can show them how to create and not just use and play. So we can really use the same platform, go closer to where they are, make them super comfortable with the platforms themselves, and then start to teach them very important skills that we think are super important, especially in this day and age of artificial intelligence.
That's what I wanted to ask too, because it's like, how do you, like, because it's such an educational based framework, right?
Correct.
With it's so radically, it changes so fast, especially with AI.
Right.
How are you guys able to stay on top of providing the right kinds of education needed in the digital age?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, quite frankly, I don't think anybody can stay on top of all the changes that are going on.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll give you that.
The change is so rapid. But I would say this is probably the best time to be alive. The amount of changes that we are going through, it is super exciting. And I think
I don't know, Vishal, the 90s were pretty great.
Say it is incumbent on people like us who are offering these kind of programs to make sure that we not only expose students to all this technology and the changes that are going on, but do that in a meaningful way so that on one side, we protect them from anything that can go wrong. And on the other side, we don't stop them from getting exposure to these skills and these technologies. So it has to be done in a measured way. Since we cover 4 to 18, it's a pretty wide range. We have to be more intentional about what we can do with elementary school students or middle school students or high school students. So absolutely. But really the idea is it's use cases, right? Things that you and I use in daily life. How can we use technology to make it better? Artificial intelligence, the Gen AI aspect is new, relatively new, 3-4 years now. But AI has been around for quite some time, right? The fact that you can open your
different levels,
the fact that you can open your phone with your face, that's artificial intelligence. So we've been teaching those use cases, usage of AI, machine learning, reinforcement learning for quite some time now. So with generative AI, the use cases are changing, technology is changing, but the mindset is not, right? The fact that students need to have to hone in on their general cognitive skills of building, logical thinking, reasoning, working as a team, not working by themselves, being able to have the self-confidence to stand up and back the things that they're working on, be able to present that in front of many people and to compete with the best in the world.
Yeah.
So we do our own sessions, we do our own competitions, but we also take students to high-end worldwide competitions.
Oh,
So that's the part of low threshold, high ceiling. So
yeah.
make it super easy for kids to come in and learn, but
Mhm.
also show them a pathway to really excel.
Yeah.
Not every student is going to want to do that, but we want to make sure that the students who do want to do that, there's a pathway for them.
Yeah, sure. No, that makes sense. The title of the conversation too, and thanks for unpacking that too about Wize, because I want to couch that in what we're talking about today is this. The title is time freedom versus financial freedom. What does a franchisee really get? What do they actually get from that? Because they're not, like, no one would pursue this if they're like, hey, I really want to be held captive and become a slave to my own business. No one wants to do that. That's typically why they're leaving corporate. It's typically why they're making a shift in their life or starting something new, is the hope and the dream, the pursuit of whatever they might define or classify as freedom, whatever that looks like. So from your experience, Vishal, from your perspective, what do franchisees usually think they're getting from franchise ownership?
From our perspective, we've seen more or less, I would classify them into two categories. The first category would be, it's a replacement for my job.
Yep.
And the second category is semi-absentee. So I want to do this on the side and make some extra money, right?
Yeah.
And I would say both of them, they come in, but it's really for us, people who are franchisors, to really show them how to execute, how to have the right growth mindset.
Okay.
And what that really means is, on one side, doing something from scratch on your own versus investing in a franchise, that itself allows them to really start on a very good footing. They have an excellent framework to begin with. They have a strong team. They have all the training that they need to get them started. So I think that's an important thing. It's like a fast car with the GPS, but they still need to drive it. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, oh, you know what?
That's
I took
so
a
good.
franchise and I can just sit back and take it easy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a much better, well-oiled machine. Your chances of success go extremely high by becoming part of a bigger framework. So it really comes down to making sure the new entrepreneurs, the new franchisee understand that they're still the boss. They still need to drive it, but with a lot of help and support and training from us.
Yeah.
So if you look at the statistics, new business owners versus a new franchise, I think it's something like 7 in 10 closed down in the first 3 years.
Yeah.
Versus franchise.
I've seen different studies over the years on it, but it's always incredibly high, the amount of business owners that close down after anywhere 3 to 5 years comparatively to franchising. Not that franchises aren't closing down either.
Absolutely. It's just that the chances of success are higher. It's never going to be 100%. But to your question on freedom, freedom requires discipline. It's not. It doesn't
There's a
mean
cost.
that
I like it that there's a cost.
There's a cost
to your
to
freedom.
It.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like freedom is not that I just sit back and have my tie. That's not freedom. The freedom really is, I can do what I really want to do with the time that I have. I look at freedom personally as, I'm able to spend, we have 3 kids, I'm able to spend a lot more time with my kids and do what I really want to do.
Come on.
That I would not be able to do if I was still in a full-time job. To me, that is super powerful. Time freedom, also financial freedom. So if I'm able to do what I want to do, if I can really, this concept of work-life balance, I see this as priorities. Work is happening, life is happening. You just have to make priorities as to what takes more priority at what time. So to be able to do that, to have that freedom, to have that work-life balance, I think those are the things you will eventually get, but you don't get that day one. You have to work to get there.
Like, when we're working with individuals who are looking for franchise ownership, is really trying to help them define what they mean by freedom. For example, was working with an individual recently who, just like everyone, his why, his motivation was included some concept of wanting to pursue freedom and control. And rather than have, and I remember this person said, rather than have someone else dictate their future, they want the control that comes with that and the freedom that this business would lead them to. And then they mentioned that they are really interested in restaurant and/or quick service restaurant space, and which is great. If for the right individual, it's great. But at the same time, it's helping them realize, okay, so when you say freedom, do you understand what the lifestyle is that typically comes with starting a franchise concept? Like it is not a 9-to-5 kind of business that you're currently in right now with your career, but you're looking at evenings, you're looking at weekends, you're looking at a number of responsibilities that come with brick and mortar and staffing and all these different elements, products, and really making sure you're tight on your numbers and all these kinds of things, right? And that's what is really, are you wanting that? So when you say freedom, is that what you pictured? Because it's, if you're there every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, is that what you said? Is that what you thought when you said freedom? So we have to help them define what we mean by freedom, and then helping them evaluate, are they willing to give up something in order to pursue their definition of freedom, whatever that might look like. Like for you with, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I can certainly share from our perspective how we.
I was just going to ask, how does that look like? What does that look like for Wize franchisees? Have you seen your franchisees achieve time freedom and/or financial freedom, or is it typically one or the other, or what does that look like for Wize franchisees?
Sure, certainly. I would start off with saying there's an excellent book called E-Myth. It's a very short book. I'm sure that most of your audiences have.
Great book. We'll drop a link to it here. Right. Not that either one of us getting royalties off it, but it's great. It's highly valuable. We'll drop a link here.
And you can read that in a couple of hours. It's really small, fast read. And the concept of roles, responsibilities versus what you're doing. As you get started, you may be wearing multiple hats, right? And in case of Wize, you are the owner. We need teachers, we need teaching assistants, we need somebody to be working on business development, we need somebody to do the operations management. When you start as a new franchisee, you may be doing all of the above. But what we tell people is so in our training, we actually show them a pathway. So we use this concept of OKRs, which is objective and key results, to set goals. And we set goals on company growth, marketing, and also operations. Those are the three sort of main categories. And where we want to be in 12 months to 18 months is where they are working more on the business than in the business. And what that means for us is they may get started and they may hire a teacher. And we say, you need to know what happens in the classroom, how the class is run. But you should not become the lead teacher. Don't put yourself in the critical path. Hire a teacher. A teacher for us is what a chef is to a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
You can have a restaurant, but if you don't have a chef, there's nothing you can do about it. So for us, a teacher is, we can have the best curriculum in the world, the best operations, everything. But without a teacher, you can't teach the students. So hire a teacher. You, the owner, is a teaching assistant. So you learn, you're in the classroom, you're seeing how things are going. And as you establish yourself, you hire another teaching assistant. Now, these pair can work from class to class and they can teach different students at different locations. Now, as you scale up, you hire another pair, a teacher and a teaching assistant, and you can continue to scale up. Now, when you scale up enough that, you need somebody to do the operations management, you can have an ops person who's managing these teachers and teaching assistants at various locations that they're teaching at. So it's really, if you think about the E-Myth book, it's really, exactly what the roles and responsibilities are. You're just taking the hat out and putting it on somebody else. The concept is you want to continue to fire yourself from whatever job you're doing.
I like that. I like that. If you want to pursue freedom, you got to continue to fire yourself.
You got it. You
That's
got
great.
it. So continue to fire yourself. And the more you can be working on the business,
Yeah.
then it gives you the freedom of time,
Mm,
freedom of financial aspect where you can decide, okay, these are the things that I want to do. I have a well-oiled machine that we are doing our operations well. I'm
yeah.
really going to be focusing on overall management and business development,
Yeah.
getting more business in.
Yeah.
That's how we set
Yeah.
our franchises up. We create a plan for them.
Yeah.
This concept of big rocks,
Yeah. Stephen Covey.
you
Yep.
know,
Big
yep.
rocks
So
first. Yeah.
excellent. So like when new franchises come into our training, they're like, I'm overwhelmed. I can do 1,000 things. Which one should I do? So we're going to use the OKR framework to decide exactly what those three things are, that the three main objectives,
Yeah.
come up with milestones for them. And from the milestones, we create our action items.
Yeah.
If you do action items for each milestone, and if you hit all milestones for an objective, you should hit your objective
Yeah.
if you do it well.
Sure.
And
Right.
we've been doing it, and that has been really helpful to have a framework to create that plan, and
Yeah.
also not just a forward looking plan that's 6 to 12 months to 18 months,
Yep.
but also a plan to get there, the
Mm,
path to get there as well.
right. But that's the thing, is that everyone wants, when they picture freedom, they picture being able to, like you said, sip Mai Tais on a beach, or to do whatever. They want to just
Right.
go off and play golf or spend time with their kids and do those kind of things. They picture that. But what you're saying is, typically for your franchisees, like, they're receiving the freedom to spend their time not in the business. So the freedom is they're getting to utilize their time, spend it in a different way. But it still isn't necessarily, you can just like binge your favorite show all day, all week, and not have to worry about, and it's still your business. And so you might have freedom from the inner workings of your business, but
Right.
that doesn't mean you're free from being responsible for your business. And that's still going to require quite a bit of time to even to still work on the business. That's still going to require quite a bit of time, correct?
100%.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, when you decide to become a business owner or a franchise owner into a particular concept, the assumption is that this is something that you want to do. This is
Right.
something that you're passionate about,
Yeah.
right? So when
Mhm.
folks come to us, we're looking for passion for education. We're looking for passion for
Yeah.
community engagement, right?
Yeah.
So that's the assumption, and if that assumption is correct, if that's the reason you came into business ownership, then you have more freedom to do these things, to
Mm.
engage in the community, to focus on education, to really spread that education, even to more students,
Yeah.
even to we want our existing franchises to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and keep adding franchises, because they can easily scale up, right? Once they know how to scale one unit, it's
Mhm.
really doing more of the same. For us, it's a lean business. You
Yeah.
don't really need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest into real estate or anything. It's really
Yeah.
you're doing more of the same.
Yeah.
So we give them the opportunity to grow while working on the business and not
Right.
working on a day to day. So it's really
Yeah.
a freedom to grow,
Yeah.
freedom to really invest in your future growth, in
Yeah.
your family's future growth.
That's so good, because a lot of people who are making the shift, it's because they recognize that their current state, their current career, their current position doesn't give them the
Right.
ability, that freedom to grow. They're limited. So I think what you're saying, Vishal, is so good. And here's how I would summarize it too: is like, free, especially time freedom, I think, is an illusion. It really is, audience. It really is,
Sure.
friends. Time freedom is an illusion. Financial freedom, I think, is also can be an illusion, depending on how you're identifying, depending on, let's say, maybe what you mean is you have a certain goal, what you want to get to financially with your future, with yourself, with your net worth, and in your bank account, blah, blah, blah. And if you hit that, great. You've identified what you are labeling as. But beyond that, I think there's still life to be lived. I think more important than picturing freedom in a sense of, I want to get to a place where I can just do whatever I want, however I want. It's like, I think more important is pursuing and understanding that you've got one life. How can you use your time, use your finances to help build something that is profoundly valuable to other people? What kind of service can you provide to others, to, in your case, children, to communities that can make a lasting impact, that can better enrich individuals and communities' lives? How can you invest yourself, your resources, time, attention, and finances to do that very thing? And when you have found the right fit for you in that pursuit, that is where I believe true freedom really comes.
That's right. And it's different for different people. Just in innovation and engineering and design, we say to make something simple is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Similarly, freedom requires discipline. It's not easy to get to that level where you have that level of freedom. So if you're disciplined, if you know exactly what your goal is and you work towards it on a daily basis, it compounds. Compounding effect is amazing.
Yeah.
But you got to first define what freedom looks for you and work at it on a diligent basis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so good, Vishal. Thanks for summarizing that. Finally, last question for you as we kind of wrap up. What do you need to see from an individual or a candidate before they could seriously explore the Wize opportunity with you guys?
Yep, certainly, Jared. A passion for education, a passion for community engagement.
Yeah.
And I would say there are two things that we also look for. And I think that's true for general business ownership.
Yeah.
A growth mindset, a can-do attitude. Things are changing rapidly, not just in the tech space, but in general. If you don't have a can-do attitude, if you don't find ways to make things work, if you don't have that optimistic view of world, then it becomes harder for you to do things.
That's right.
It becomes harder for you to adjust to new realities of life. That's one. The second, which is also very important for us, is lifelong learner.
Okay.
Because you pointed out at the very beginning, right? This is not reading or math that's not changing. The field we are in, it's changing.
Yes.
Fundamental things, the fundamentals don't change. The way you teach it, the way we use technology, it's getting better. It's making the engagement better for kids.
Yeah.
And we want to take advantage of that. So having that lifelong learner attitude is also super important for us.
Yeah, so good. And when those things align, and that's where you'll find success in a number of different ways, not just financially, but success in a number of different ways. And if those align with you, those are interesting to you, all you got to do right now is just type Wize in the comments, Wize, type Wize below, and we will reach out and begin a conversation with you. And I'll reach out and see begin qualification process, see if this might be the right fit or what you're looking for. We'll start with some territory check and just see if this could be the beginning of something incredible for you and your legacy, your community, and all those things. So as they're doing that, Vishal, I can't just appreciate you enough for your time and giving it up to be a part of this, your wisdom and sharing in this conversation. That's just so critical for people. And so genuinely, thank you so much for being a part of this. This has been great.
Jared, thank you so much for having us. It's our pleasure and our honor to be here. And I like this concept and the fact that you are spreading the word of business ownership, entrepreneurship, and I could only wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that so much. That's our goal, is really to help as many people as we possibly can pursue business ownership, because there's a lot of good that comes from that and that they can create because of it. And I believe in that. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to help elite entrepreneurs do that with confidence and clarity. Again, thank you so much, Vishal. Friends, this is Jerry with FranOps Live. We'll see you again next time. Have a good one. Take care.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with anyone who's ready to take that next step in franchise ownership. For more resources and personalized franchise guidance, visit us online at businessallianceinc.com. Let's help you franchise your future. See you next time.